So before we kind of actually have, before we kind of actually have a look at the charts, it is very good that we realize the sentiment of the market. Okay. So let's have a look at Nifty 50 first of all to begin with. Okay. So what do you kind of actually see? So as far as Nifty 50 is concerned, let's start with the larger time frame, the 1 day time frame. Okay. And I pretty well observe over here in the case of Nifty 50 that so after kind of a good bullish sentiment, after some sort of a good bullish side move, right now our markets it kind of actually looks like it's taking a break in some sort of a choppy nature for a while. Okay, so our markets has been continuously picking up for some pretty good period of time. So it was continuously forming highs as you observe over here. So we kind of actually see some sort of a continuous higher high formation, and our markets were really in a good bullish phase. But for the last 2 months, if you have a look, our markets has kind of taken some sort of a choppy structure. So first of all, the first thing that you need to do before you kind of get started with your trading day is nothing else but have a general understanding of the market structure. So I kind of actually realize over here. So currently the market structure actually looking choppy. It's kind of looking pretty much choppy, is pretty much sideways. But something that interests me over here is the fact that I can actually note down some significant levels in that scenario. Okay. So first thing is I can now see that some sort of a rejection is happening over here, some sort of a rejection happening here. Okay. And on the downside, I see markets find a good support over here. Okay. So this is like the 14,250 marks. So market has been finding some sort of a pretty good support at the 14,200 marks. Okay. So the overall structure of the market right now over the last couple of months has been pretty much choppy. Okay. Now for some pretty strong moves, either on the upside or on the downside, we actually need, I personally feel that we actually need these levels to get taken out. That is both the 14,200 marks or this upper trend line, they kind of actually need to be taken out. So this is what I kind of actually observe in the shorter time frame. In the 1 day time frame. So that is like markets are kind of confined within this range. So either price has to break below this, okay, or price has to break above this in order to get some pretty good moves for the market to kind of actually continue a particular trend. The price would have actually to appear below either of these two significant levels. So as long as the price stays confined within this range, I kind of actually personally feel that the market would be kind of pretty much choppy, and it would be a good opportunity to trade non-directional systems. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm kind of actually going to do is I'm quickly switching forward to a shorter time frame. That is, let's have a look at the 1 hour time frame. And so in the 1 hour time frame, I personally feel Nifty. So last day. So I kind of actually realized for myself that okay, Nifty kind of actually finds a support somewhere over here. Okay, so I kind of consider, but it's not a significant one, by the way. But this finds a support over here. If I look into the 15 minutes time frame, things will be a bit more clear. So if I want to check out for an intraday shorting opportunity, in order to check out for an intraday shorting opportunity, so this could be a good level. I personally feel that is price managing to break below this could actually give opportunities to check out for some good shorting opportunities if at all market is to pierce below this. So in this particular scenario, I would actually consider this to be the first significant level. Okay, that is like the 14,527. So followed by that, the next significant level would be the 14,560 as far as intraday trading is concerned. Okay. So you see that those levels are being respected over here too. So we would kind of actually realize that these levels are being respected here too. So basically, if this level is getting broken, I expect price to come down to here, and then next over here. So those looks like the significant levels as far as Nifty is concerned. Now, I personally like trading more on the banking sector stocks. And one more thing that I kind of actually like marking levels on is definitely Bank Nifty, none other than Bank Nifty. So after that, let's get and move ahead into the banking sector stocks. Let's quickly have a look at Bank Nifty. Let's track and mark levels on the spot price itself. So once again, starting from the top, the 1 day, I just figured out for myself that where Bank Nifty is holding right now is definitely a very good level. So this is actually a pretty good resistance, which later on turned out to be the new support. Okay, so we can very well evidently see from the charts over here. So if I get another 1 hour time frame now, so I can actually see that, okay, the last day, the last trading day, Bank Nifty has actually managed to pierce below that. Now, so when I get into the shorter time frame, I personally feel that there could be another level that could be considered over here, right? So this also kind of looks like a point which has been tested more number of times. So this could be like, I could kind of convert this into some sort of a zone. So initially we started off with a level, but then we personally think that we can actually convert this into some sort of a zone rather than a level. Okay, rather than considering it to be a perfect level. So we could kind of consider it to be something like a zone right now. After that, followed by that, the next significant level as far as a Bank Nifty would be considered would be concerned would be like somewhere over here. That is like the 31,500 marks. So this looks like a good level to me. This too looks like a good level to me. And followed by that, yeah, obviously over here. Okay, so these would be the interesting levels for intraday. I would be keen on as far as tomorrow trading day is concerned. Now, talking about anywhere, kind of talking about, let's say tomorrow the market is having a bullish structure or the market is having some sort of a bullish bias, then honestly speaking, like from here to here, there is kind of not much significant levels. And I would be more convinced in checking out for short opportunities because like the last entire week, the structure has been pretty weak. So I personally would be more keen on checking out for short opportunities as compared to long opportunities. So that is one thing. However, on the upside, yeah, definitely I can consider this to be some sort of a level. And a price would actually need to manage to manage to open up above here and find some sort of a retest somewhere over here in order to check out for some sort of a long opportunity. Now, one more thing is there. So if at all, so you know that there is a phenomenon called as gap up and gap down opening. So if at all market is undergoing a huge gap up or gap down opening, I personally would wait for the markets to settle, and post that only I'll be checking out to initiate my positions. So this could be the first thing that I'll start off by considering marking the levels on the chart. And this is something that I kind of consider as a homework to myself. Okay, that is like before I kind of get into trading. So for the next day, like this is some sort of a homework that I kind of do for myself. Now, the next, then one more thing is it. So there could be, see, some of you would be like, okay, I have done this homework. That means I had to trade on this. So please don't be very strict with the market. So kind of don't think that markets, you're superior to the market. See, market always has its own thoughts. Okay. So what we can do is we can be prepared by doing our homeworks, but that doesn't mean that we have to get a question. So just like consider this as an exam. So maybe there are some questions that you prepare for, but then you don't get that question during your exam. Okay. You won't be getting that question during your exam. So if you don't get that question during an exam, then definitely you can't trade on it. Okay. So you can't kind of actually trade on it if you are not getting that question on the exam. So same way in the markets also. Okay, so please don't rush anything. Please don't be too desperate to get an opportunity in the market. So if the market has to offer something to you, okay, so the market actually has something to offer to you, you will be getting it. But please don't jump after it, or don't please rush out to capture the opportunity. Okay. Now, let's kind of actually see the individual stocks that one could actually look into. Okay. So just clear this. Now, as far as an individual is concerned, it's pretty good that you have a universe of stocks. So we call this as a universe of stocks. in the sense every single person. Okay, every single person, I believe you should be tracking a set of stocks on a regular basis. Okay, or you should be having out a universe of stocks that you regularly observe from time to time. Now, if you ask me like which are the universe of stocks that I regularly track, so they are ICICI Bank, okay, then Tata Motors, Axis Bank, Reliance, okay. So these are some stocks that I track on a regular basis, and all the major banking sector stocks. It's not just Axis and ICICI, but I would say all the major banking sector stocks. Now you probably would be having this doubt. Okay, why do you kind of track them regularly? Okay, so the answer is pretty simple. First thing is, yeah, almost every single day the banking sector stocks actually give some significant move. So that is one good thing about the banking sector. Almost every single day the banking sector stocks actually gives some sort of a pretty good move. So either a good move on the upside or a good move on the downside, it usually gives. Now one more thing is there. So right now what we are discussing is regarding checking out for levels for directional trading. So I regularly do non-directional systems on Bank Nifty, so which actually helps me diversify my risk also. If I track and trade on the banking sector stocks, it also helps me diversify my risk on my non-directional system too. So both of these things clubbed together will help me mitigating my risk. Okay. So the other banking sector stocks that you can track would be Indus Way India, all these things. Okay. So one good thing about building or sticking with the universe of stocks is that first and foremost, you are kind of going to get comfortable in a lesser span of time or in a lesser duration of time. It is going to take you a lesser duration of time to get comfortable with the movements of these particular stocks. Why? Because almost every single day you will be tracking them. Second thing is, this would actually reduce your headache. Okay, so this would actually reduce your headache of trading different stocks on a different day, and ultimately you end up getting comfortable in no particular stock or in no particular segment. Okay, the third thing is, so it can save your time too. Apart from headache, it can also save your time because the number of stocks that you're monitoring is being limited. It also will help you get comfortable with that set of stocks pretty much. So then the third part I just wanted to convey is that if you're doing this process, if you're tracking the major banking sector stocks, I could tell you from my personal experience, the banks give significant moves on almost every single day. Okay, so and it will also help you if you are someone who is trading in the derivatives. You know that many of the people trade Bank Nifty. So as you are getting into trading the derivatives, the Bank Nifty and all, things would be easier for you to track. It would kind of actually be you would kind of actually be having some sort of an upper hand in kind of taking a decisive action, talking about the direction of the index. Okay, so this will get you more comfortable when it kind of comes to index trading also if you have a universe of stocks. Now there is one more principle that I do. Okay, so the other principle that I follow when it kind of comes to picking stocks is nothing else but the fact that I have a look at the futures built up data. Okay, so I personally have a look into the futures built up data of the stock. Okay, so the good thing that is actually going to happen over here. Okay, so by having a look into the futures built up data, you get to see which are the stocks that is being actively being bought by a large number of people, by a large audience, and the stock that actually is being observed very keenly. Okay, so when there's larger participation, where there is larger volume, like where the people are more eagerly watching out for some stocks that is being keenly observed by. Okay, so what happens is the stocks that has a good build up would usually be some stocks that is giving some pretty good movement also. Okay, so stocks that has some pretty good build up would be the stocks that is also having or that will actually be giving some pretty good build up to. And if we can actually trade on those stocks that has a good build up, it would actually be a very favorable decision as far as a trader is concerned. Why? Because by doing this particular thing, we are increasing our chances of getting a very favorable risk reward ratio. Stocks with a good build up always has a chances of giving you a more favorable risk reward ratio. Okay, now I'll show you how one could actually look at the build up. So I'll quickly show you. So apart from having a look at the major stocks, as I mentioned to you, apart from having a look at the major banking sector stocks, another activity that you could kind of do is you could have a look at Opstra. There is a site called Opstra, and Opstra is not the only means to look out for the built-up data. There are n number of websites that provides this. Okay, so whichever you are comfortable with, you can do. So there is no necessity that you have to look in. You can look it only at Opstra, and Opstra is a paid service. So I am using the paid plan. But then for having a look at this, you really don't need to have the paid plan. Okay, so you can actually click on futures. Okay, you get it with the free version also. Click on futures. If you click on futures built up, you can see for yourself. Okay, there are multiple options over here. There are kind of multiple options kind of given over here, and you could kind of select the different, like there are multiple options also: long built up, short built up, etc., etc. Now, to begin with, let me just quickly tell you what all you should be selecting. Post that, I'll tell you what long built up is and what short built up is. Okay. First of all, just realize for yourself, if you are checking out for long opportunities, if you need to find stocks that could be checked out for long positions, okay. So check out for stocks that you would be interested in to look out for long positions. You can have a look at this particular thing. Click on this long build up. Okay. So if you click on long build up, and once again, let me just tell you. So having a look at stocks and long build up doesn't guarantee you profits. But if some sort of a good upside move is coming, then there is a very high probability that the stock that is already in a long build up. So if some sort of a postage sell breakout is happening, there is a very high chance that stocks in a long build up can give you pretty good or pretty favorable momentum. Okay. So I'll start off with this. I'll kind of actually have a look over here. So I realize, okay, Asian Paints is having some sort of a good long build up. Now, apart from that, like let's see the next stock that has a good long build up. So Asian Paints, talking about Asian Paints, the good thing is Asian Paints is having or is in a long build up phase, both in the short term outlook as well as in the mid term outlook. Is both is in a long build up, both in short term as well as mid term outlook. Now, the next thing that I can actually do is I can have a scroll and again see, okay, Berger Paints is also looking good. Okay. Now, talking about a good long build up, UPL is also looking good. Okay. So just note that now you probably could be having this doubt that shall I be kind of actually checking out these stocks the previous night, or should I be kind of actually checking out for these stocks the next day? What I just wanted to tell you is, so majority of the times what we observe is, okay, majority of the stock, majority of the times what we kind of actually observe is that the stocks that we kind of see in the long build up the previous night, okay, so whatever we kind of actually see the previous night, they kind of tend to be holding a good built up data the next day, okay, the next day morning interval itself. And if we see something that is coinciding, that is actually giving us further confluence to go ahead and trade on that, or that is giving us further confidence to go ahead and trade on that. So right now we see UPL, okay, UPL, Asian Paints, and Berger Paints as some stocks that is in a good long built up. So we could also track these for tomorrow. Now talking about the other side, to check out for short opportunities, we can have a stock that is in a short built up phase. So let's have a look at the stocks that is in a short built up phase. I realize, okay, Adani Enterprises. So Adani Enterprises. Then the next stock, Indus Tower. Okay, I don't trade on that. I'm keeping it aside. Jindal Steel. Okay, so Jindal Steel, the MRF. Okay, then okay, MRF. Yeah. So Jindal Steel, MRF. These are some stocks that actually looks like sale. Okay, Adani Enterprises, sale, Jindal Steel. Okay, so these are some stocks that is in a good short built up. So I could kind of actually consider analyzing the levels on these stocks too. So when I'm kind of actually going to check, okay. So when I'm kind of actually going to check out this to mark levels and to identify some potential stocks to be tracked for the next day, I could even consider these like Adani, SAIL, Jindal Steel, because they're kind of actually showing some short build up. Indus Tower and all, I'm not personally familiar with it. Now, some of you could be asking me like why I'm not selecting Indus Tower. The answer is, yeah, I mostly don't know the stock. See, I have never ever seen the chart in my life. So I'll kind of actually have a look at the stocks that I'm familiar with. Okay. Now, once again, if I have some of the favorite stocks that I track on a regular basis, like ICICI Bank, Axis, and all, they'll actually give me more conviction or give me more confidence in trading on the same. So let me just once again make it clear. So this data, so this stock showing a short build up on short term as well as mid term outlook, it is not actually telling me that tomorrow for sure this price is going to fall down. Rather, it is kind of telling me, okay, there was some sort of a good selling pressure on it. So there were many shorts created, there were many short positions created. Now, considering these scenarios, if there is some sort of a dip or is some sort of a negative side breakout being taken or taking place, there could kind of actually be a chance that a further downside move could actually be triggered. That's it. Okay. So there is no kind of a like guarantee. So no, nothing can be guaranteed in the markets. Nothing like, okay, after this market is going to fall down. Only thing is, yeah, there's kind of more sort of a possibility that market could actually fall down because some sort of a short build-up was actually being created, and that's it. You know. So just think about long build-up and short build-up. Okay. So just think about these things. So you could kind of actually keep aside this OI part, everything. See for stocks that has both a long build-up, both in a short-term outlook as well as mid-term outlook, and stocks that has a short build-up, sorry, long build-up in short term as well as mid term for long. For shorting opportunities, check out for stocks that has a short build up both in the short term as well as mid term outlook. Now, next thing what I could actually show you is let's move ahead and mark levels one by one. Okay. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out some stocks that has shown me some sort of a good sentiment. Okay. First, let me just start with UPL, Asian Paints, and all. That's some stocks that was looking bullish. Let's start with UPL itself. Let's have a look at the chart of UPL and let's start doing a top-down analysis on the stock. Okay, let's start from the one-day time frame. So, how has the stock been looking last week itself? So, the entire week, how has the stock been looking like? So, it seems like the stock has undergone a good breakout. It has come out of a pretty strong resistance level. So what do you feel about it? So it has kind of come past the 700 levels, 700 resistance levels. Okay. Now from this, the next thing I'm going to do is, I realize for myself, yeah, the stock has actually managed to come out of a pretty good resistance level. I'll switch to from one day, I'll switch to the 1 hour time frame. So let me quickly have a look at the hourly time frame chart. And let me just see for myself how has the stock been looking like in the 1 hour time frame. So if I am to mark a resistance level in this case, Okay, I would kind of actually consider marking a level over here, 762. Yeah, I could kind of consider marking a level over here. Now I could kind of actually get into the shorter time frame, that is the 15 minutes time frame, and I see for myself, yeah, this level, the 760 levels, this actually being respected in the 15 minutes time frame too. And if I'm to check out for a long side opportunities, I personally need this particular level to get taken out. What do you feel? So I personally would require this particular level to actually manage to get taken out. I need this level to actually get being managed to get taken out in order to check out for a good long side opportunity or a positive side breakout opportunity. Now let's say that where would I keep my stop loss? What would be my target? Okay, so that would be the question that you probably would have in your mind. But let me just quickly tell you. So my stop loss and target would actually depend on the kind of market structure gets formed before UPL undergoes a breakout. So to say that UPL undergoes some sort of a consolidation like this and then gives a breakout, I would be able to set my stop loss somewhere below this. I personally would be capable of setting up my stop loss somewhere below this if the price undergoes some sort of a consolidation before giving the positive side breakout. And I would consider, in this case, there are no recent highs. I personally would consider the next pivot level to be the target for the trade on UPL to go for a long. So you'll have to wait for tomorrow and see for ourselves the kind of candles that is getting formed at the time of consolidation in order to decide to go for a trade or not. Now, the next stock that I personally would, before that, I'll just quickly show you how the volume has been forming. Okay, so let's have a look at how the volume has been getting formed on UPL. So just adding the volume charts. So let's have a quick study the volumes. So price moved up. Okay, price moved up. Yeah, volumes opening day opening volumes are pretty good. Price moved up. Yeah, then the volume subsidized again. So over here you can see that there was a good increased or a good built-in volume taking place. But then pretty soon after that, when this red candle is actually getting formed, we see that the volume that is taking place is kind of lesser. Bearish candle is lesser also. But having a clear-cut look at this chart, so who do you think has a higher control? So who do you think would be having an upper hand in the stock? So would it be the buyers or the sellers? So talking about UPL, so who do you think is having an upper hand? So looking at the volume, so we kind of actually saw that whenever the price was taking an upside move, the volume candles that were getting formed were actually pretty much strong. The kind of candles that was actually getting formed with every significant upside move, the volume was actually pretty strong. Then one more thing is there. This looks like a pretty good level. So as far as the candle is concerned, sorry, as far as the stock is concerned, so this actually looks like a pretty strong level too. And if this level is kind of managed to get taken off, some sort of a further upside move could also take place. Okay. So this is one stock that I would be interested in. So this would be one stock that I personally would be keen on what to watch out for tomorrow. Okay, some sort of a good breakout opportunity could be caught. I find it to be a very good trading opportunity on UPL. This one stock that I would track. Now, I'll quickly move ahead and show you the case of Asian Paints. Okay. Now, talking about Asian Paints. Okay, so this looks pretty beautiful. The chart actually looks pretty beautiful. So we'll start from the 1-day time frame, however. So it's such a very beautiful chart. So after some pretty good duration of a choppy structure, Asian Paints has managed to come out of the range with pretty strong volumes. So you can see that. This is clearly evident over here. So initially it was confined within the structure. So we have a pretty good breakout happening, and there's a like very strong movement that has taken place. Okay. So what could probably happen next? That could be the question, and what could be done from our end too. So I'll get into the 1 hour time frame and see for myself if it is kind of showing some sort of uh, any other significant level over here. So it looks like, yeah, it's like after that big upside move, after the first ever, the stock has been pretty much consolidation in a consolidation phase. I'll switch into the 15 minutes time frame. Maybe I get a better picture. Okay. So having a checkout over here, I personally feel, see, Asian Paints would be pretty much suitable to consider for long side opportunities if we can actually figure out some sort of a good breakout taking place and the price is capable of managing to sustain above this trend line. That is, if price manages to come out of this particular trend line, if price is capable of managing to come out of this particular trend line, I would be interested in checking out for some sort of a long opportunity based upon a retest. So I would be interested in checking out for a long opportunity. If price is breaking out of this, I would wait for some sort of a retest to take place. Then I'll be interested in checking out for a long opportunity. Okay, and definitely my first probable target level should be somewhere over here. And however, however, if price is capable of managing to previous this also, a further upside move can once again be anticipated. Okay, so I would like the price to manage to pierce above this, undergo a retest. So retest means you know what a retest is. So we need one level, initially a level, it gets broken, then it acts, then it kind of starts to act as a new support. Okay, and all resistance kind of tending to act as a new support. In the case of a trend line, I would kind of actually like this trend line to get broken first, then take a trading opportunity based upon a retest of the same. Okay, so that is what I personally would be interested in. And I would also be watching out for the kind of price action that is getting formed over here to check out for the opportunity. Okay, so as far as my risk reward ratios will be concerned, so I would be interested in checking out for some sort of a target levels over here, at least, and that would definitely be something like a 1:2. Okay, if I had to take some sort of a risk like this, the price is capable of giving a move at least till here. So the risk reward probably becomes at least like a 1:2. So we'll have to wait for tomorrow and see. One second. So yeah, so UPL Asian Paints I have shown. So Berger Paints once again, I'm not so comfortable in that by because I haven't traded much on it. So I guess for the long side, these two stocks based on build up is more than sufficient. Now I'll kind of actually quickly show you some stocks that we can actually check out based upon the short built up data. And that is nothing else but Adani Enterprises. So having a look at Adani, I'll just start from the 1 day time frame. So talking about Adani, so what I just observed for myself is after some sort of a good bullish side sentiment, Adani has been in some sort of a good upside move. Now it has on the daily time frame, it has uh, kind of made a steep fall, kind of coming back to an earlier resistance. So I kind of consider this to be an old resistance level. So which later on started to act as a new support. An old resistance level that started to act as a new support. Okay. Now talking about a good resistance would lie somewhere over here. Then the one day time frame once again. Let me just get into the shorter time frame. So from 1 day, let me just come down to the 1 hour. So in the 1 hour time frame, how does this look? So once again, yeah, I see that in the 1 hour time frame too, this looks like a significant level. And beyond that, the next level would be somewhere over here. Okay. So after this level getting taken out, the next significant level in this particular stock looks somewhere over here. I'll show it to you. I will mark and observe this on the 15 minutes that we talk. So just take the pencil out. Let me just sign the horizontal line. Okay. Just click on this. Okay. So I kind of actually realized for myself, yeah, this looks like a good level. Okay. So this kind of actually looks like a pretty good level. We tested over here, tested over here. You see that multiple kind of testing over here also. Okay. And if this level is managed to get broken, so I personally anticipate the price to come down to the next significant level, which would probably lie over. In this particular case, okay, it's kind of a bit, yeah. So I personally think the next significant level would be over here. Okay. So as far as the stock is concerned, that would be like from 1 to 1.3, a move towards 1183. Okay. Like a 30 rupee move. So this is what would be this is kind of what is actually looking as the next significant level for Adani Enterprises. Okay, so if this level is actually getting managed to be taken out, I personally feel this could be the next significant level as far as Adani Enterprises is concerned. Okay, so let's see what kind of a breakout or something can actually occur over here, and we could decide our trade based upon the same. So after Adani Enterprises, or something else that we were checking out for was SAIL. Let's have a look at SAIL. Once again, let's start off on the 1-day time frame as always. So talking about the stock SAIL, something very interesting is that after some sort of a good bullish side movement, so it's kind of actually after some sort of a pretty good bullish side movement, that is when this negative side move has started. Okay. The 1-day time frame, yeah, for the last week, it has been looking completely bearish. I'll switch to the 1-hour time frame and see for myself. And in the 1-hour time frame, yeah, I observe that it looks like at a good level. That is where the stock is right now. Okay, stock seems to look like at a pretty good level, at a pretty decent level actually. Okay, over here. I'll switch to the 15 minutes time frame. So talking about the 15 minutes time frame, yeah. So as far as the levels part is concerned, if this level, if the first level is actually getting managed, or if the first level is actually being managed to be taken out, if this level is actually being managed to take out, the next significant level would lie somewhere over here, and followed by that, the next significant level would lie somewhere over here. So these two would be the next significant levels as far as SAIL India is concerned. Okay, I'm not really sure about what kind of a risk reward ratios would be found over here. Why? Because let's say the price consolidates something like this. If price is giving a downside move, once again, my risk reward ratio would be almost 1:1. So my risk and reward both would be almost 1:1. I'm not pretty sure what sort of a risk reward ratio can actually be caught over here. So in this particular case, my risk reward ratios will be almost 1:1. Okay. But we'll have to wait. We'll kind of actually have to wait. We'll have to figure out and see what can be done. Anyways, let's see. It's a thing for tomorrow, right? Okay. So then one more thing is there. The next, the next stock that we can actually check out is Jindal Steel. Okay. So start from the 1-day time frame. Okay, and if you have a look at this, so the structure is looking almost similar as compared to SAIL, continuously moving up. So then again, it is kind of last week it has been totally bearish. So if I get into the 1-hour time frame, so once again the stock is looking pretty bearish. But in this particular case, like what I personally feel is, the price has to come down to the next significant level that lies over here, first of all. That is, first of all, the price would actually have to reach this point. That is, only after the price actually manages to reach to this particular point, we can actually check out for some sort of a move. Okay, if price doesn't reach this point, then there is no point. Sorry, if price doesn't reach this particular level, there is no point in checking out for a short opportunity. Okay, so first that event should happen, then only we can think about something. Anyways, let's see, maybe that is going to be what is going to happen. Okay, and so you can see, so for the short term, I kind of also realize that some sort of a significant level or some sort of a resistance could be there over here. But I personally won't be much interested in checking out for a buy or a long side opportunity in this case. Why? Because this is a stock that is in a short built up phase. Okay. Now, I have quickly mentioned to you like how I kind of actually track some stocks in order to check out levels, mark levels on the same. So what all principles I follow, etc. Now some of the other mechanisms that I kind of actually do is I kind of can actually have a look at the volume built up, all this stuff. But then like for now, this is more than sufficient. Then I'll show you like how we can have a look at our favorite stocks. So these stocks I track on a regular basis. Let it be long built up, short built up, whatever. So I track them on a regular basis. So as far as ICICI is concerned, so these are the significant levels that I'm kind of actually tracking in the case of ICA. So I'm more keen on checking out for a short opportunity if ICICI Bank is capable of managing to come down below this particular level. If ICICI Bank is capable of coming down below this particular level, I would be very happy to check out for a short. And so talking about my other friend, Tata Motors Axis Bank bundle, I'm saying I'll show you. So Axis Bank, talking about Axis Bank, so I really don't like the structure right now. Okay, I'm not very keen about the structure. However, to check out for some sort of an opportunity, this would be something that I consider significant. So I would need this level to actually get taken out to check out for some sort of an opportunity as in the case of Axis. Now I'll quickly show you Tata Motors also. So this is the chart of Tata Motors. And I guess I have shown you this trend line earlier. So as far as the stock Tata Motors is concerned, so after some sort of a good bullish nature, the price has managed to come down below the trend line, and now this looks like the significant support. Okay, so I personally would once again be interested in. So talking about Tata, I will be interested in both long and short. Okay, so talking about long, it will be somewhere above these levels. Okay, it would be above these levels, and talking about short, it would actually be below this. And once again, as far as I'm concerned, the risk reward ratios, that's what matters the best or most for me. I'll see what sort of risk reward ratios I have to take, then I'll initiate the positions. So these are the levels that I will actually be tracking it. I will actually be tracking for tomorrow. Okay, and these would be the levels that I personally would be tracking for tomorrow. And provided I get a good risk reward ratio, plus provided that I get some sort of a good confluence in order to go ahead and initiate my positions, I'll definitely go ahead and execute the trades. So these are some things, these are some stocks that I'm tracking for tomorrow.